because the combination of obesity, diabetes type 2, and heart disease have the highest rate of mortality on Earth? Yes, they do. While all chronic diseases account for 80% of the deaths every year, typically the combination of these three, obesity, heart disease, and diabetes type 2, they have the highest mortality rate. So research is on top of it, finding a way to explain this. And so far, what they have found is that a major reason is because the people who have this combination, and that happens a lot, this is really a cluster of diseases that often go together. They go hand in hand, obesity, heart disease, and diabetes type 2. Those people have multiple medications every day for years on end, like forever. And every day, those medications have an impact on the microbiome, the microbes in our gut. And that is really impactful because the microbes in our gut, we need them for digestion. But not only for digestion, they have a lot of other functions as well for us. They're really vital to us. Like they can make human neurotransmitters and human hormones. And actually, they are second immune system. And therefore, they are of vital importance because if we lack those microbes or part of those microbes, we cannot digest well. And when we cannot digest well, these leftovers in our gut, they are direct oil to the fire of inflammation. And when we have more inflammation, there is a reason to start, develop, or progress chronic diseases. So many types of chronic diseases. And moreover, they will not do the other functions as well, right? When there's a lack of those microbes, they cannot take care of our hormones and neurotransmitters, and they are not an extra force for our immunity. So, lacking our good microbes is a real problem. It can even be a problem of life or death. And that is exactly what we see. And this is the explanation to date at this point by researchers, that people with these three types of chronic diseases have multiple medications every day, and that is destroying our microbiome. It's destroying the microbes, so they won't function well. It is even a very significant impact. Those medications that we need for relieving the symptoms or to have a little bit of control over those diseases, they are absolute toxins to our microbiome, to the extent that this impact is bigger than the impact of our standard American diet. And the impact of the standard American diet is really huge on getting and maintaining and progressing chronic diseases, any chronic diseases. So it's really worthwhile to consider this. It is absolutely impactful on our life. So what now? What can we do? Well, number one, I would suggest to talk to your doctor, to your medical doctor, your start with your general practitioner. I did that a lot. Actually, every year for my mom and dad, they had quite a list of medications, and I reviewed them with a general practitioner every year, because there may be new insights, there may be new measurements, maybe there's not a complete overview of the whole list when there is a new medication added to the list. So it's really worthwhile to consider the current list and think about if everything on that list is really necessary, and if it's really necessary in this dosage. And you may want to go to medical specialists when the list is not complete under the control of the general practitioner. I had that a couple of times. So that is what I really would suggest. I mean, the medications are there for a reason, but we want to minimize it to minimize the toxicity on our microbiome. Secondly, what can we do? Well, nurture our microbiome. If we have a healthy microbiome, it is resistant to a lot, really a lot. So also a lot of medications. So it is so important that we make sure that we have a healthy microbiome, and we have a lot of that under our own control. So what can we do? What can we do ourselves every day to make sure that we grow a healthy gut? Level 1, eat fruits and veggies. Now, you may not be used eating fruits and veggies. Maybe you do, but just in case that you don't go overboard. Because if you start right away with a lot of fruits and veggies, really, you have a problem with your digestive system, because those microbes are not there for the digestion. So really be easy on your belly and make little baby steps for them, like every day 1% more, right? So every day a little bit more. Introduce it little by little. Maybe you want to water it down in a smooth juice or whatever, but eat your fruits and veggies every day, because those fruits and veggies, they contain fiber, and fiber is what those microbes eat best. And when they eat those fibers, they not only get healthy, but they will grow in amount. So you will grow a healthy microbiome when you eat your fruits and veggies. Number 2, stop all sugars. That's really important. So I do not mean the sugars that are in the fruits and veggies. I do not mean the sugars or the carbs that are in whole foods. Whole foods are really recommended. Whole foods is what you should eat. But what we see that in those processed foods, so the non-whole foods, there's added sugar in whatever disguise with a lot of names, but there are refined carbs, refined sugars, added sugars. And that is really what you want to avoid. These are direct toxins to your microbiome. One way, direct. So this is really what you want to avoid. It is absolutely life-changing. It's life-giving. That's the whole topic of this video, this big cause of mortality. So that is the second thing. Avoid all sugars. and eat the whole foods. Third step is introduce fermented foods, because fermented foods contain good microbes. So you add the amount, you make it bigger from the outside in. So what kind of fermented foods? Like sauerkraut or kimchi, they really spice up almost every dish. Secondly, drink a cup of miso soup every day just before lunch. Or make a veggie stir fry with tempeh. So all these foods, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, tempeh, they're all fermented foods, and they all contain a life culture of microbes that you can really use in a situation when you have, well, any chronic disease, but typically those three, and typically those three together. So that is what I really want to recommend to do, so we can change this rate altogether on Earth. That is what I really hope for. Now, if you like this content and you are interested to reverse your chronic disease by treating causes, so your body can repair itself, then I invite you to join a Zoom Saturday this Saturday. So I can tell you all about how chronic diseases start and why the many types of chronic diseases are actually more alike than they are different, because they come from a single source. And when we can eliminate that single source, then we can reverse chronic disease, and the body will start to repair all non-permanent damage. So you're invited. I'd like you to join me on this Saturday. So check out the description box below and maybe see you there.